The cholesterol controversy, how one man's theory changed the world and why it's time to re-examine the facts. Back in the 1950s, a man named Ancel Keys became one of the most influential nutrition scientists in history. He was behind the now famous 7 countries study, the research that first linked saturated fat to heart disease. His work shaped global nutrition policy, sparked the low-fat craze, and influenced the food pyramid that dominated public health advice for decades. But here's what most people never heard. Keys actually had data from 22 countries, yet he published results from only 7, the ones that supported his theory. The countries where people ate plenty of fat but had very little heart disease were left out. His conclusions, though revolutionary at the time, were built on cherry-picked data, broad generalizations, and a limited understanding of cholesterol. He measured only total cholesterol, treating all of it as bad, without knowing that there were different types and particle sizes that behave very differently in the body. He also ignored sugar, refined carbs, and processed oils, the real culprits we now know drive inflammation, oxidative stress, and arterial damage. Still, Keys' message spread faster than any study before it. Doctors, governments, and food manufacturers all jumped aboard the low-fat bandwagon. Butter was out, margarine was in, eggs became villains, and heart disease, obesity, and diabetes rates didn't drop, they skyrocketed. Let's set the record straight. Cholesterol is not the enemy. Your body makes it on purpose because it's essential for life. It builds hormones, forms brain and nerve tissue, supports your immune system, helps with cell repair, and is a raw ingredient for vitamin D. There are several types of cholesterol carriers: HDL, LDL, and VLDL. The important factor isn't the total number, but the particle size. Big, fluffy LDL is generally safe and protective, while small, dense LDL is linked to artery damage and inflammation. Here's the kicker: eggs and natural fats make the big, fluffy, safe kind, while sugar and refined carbs create the small, sharp, dangerous kind. Statins were originally developed for people at extremely high risk, those recovering from heart attacks or showing severe arterial disease, but today, more than 45 million Americans take them daily, even children as young as 8. The problem is that statins don't just clean up bad cholesterol. They shut down the liver's entire cholesterol factory, good and bad, which can disrupt hormone balance, brain function, and energy production. That's why side effects like fatigue, memory loss, mood changes, and muscle pain are so common. And here's something few people realize: most standard cholesterol tests don't even measure particle size. That means millions are medicated based on incomplete information, while the real culprits, sugar and inflammation, remain unaddressed. Modern research paints a very different picture. Total cholesterol alone is a poor predictor of heart disease, while triglycerides, HbA1c, and inflammation markers tell a far clearer story. Whole food fats, like those in eggs, avocados, grass-fed meat, and olive oil, can actually improve metabolic health when sugar and processed foods are kept low. The real issue isn't fat, it's metabolic inflammation. Medical guidelines often lag 20 years behind current research. Don't fear cholesterol, understand it. Ask for particle size testing, look at your A1C, track inflammation markers, and focus on the foods your body was designed to thrive on. The healthiest people aren't the most obedient to outdated rules, they're the ones who stay curious, informed, and courageous enough to question tradition. So tell us, how do you like your eggs? Will loves his scrambled, poached, fried, in quiche, casseroles, chaffles, or even pudding? Drop your favorite recipe in the comments below and let's bring the truth back to the breakfast table. Disclaimer: this article is intended for general informational and entertainment purposes only. It is not medical advice, and it should not be used as a substitute for professional diagnosis or treatment. Always seek the guidance of a qualified healthcare provider before making any changes to your diet, lifestyle, exercise routine, or medication. Stay updated on the latest news, connect, interact and more on KETONET, available on the Apple Store and Google Play.